In a world with many similarities to our own, there lies two planets that are both experiencing societal turmoil. One of them, the planet Remus, there lies a town named Hazel that is on the outskirts of one of the busiest cities on the planet. While society is strained with cultural change, in this town, there are beings that no one has seen and struggle not to be found as time goes on. The following is the story of some of the people who end up finding them through no fault of their own. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello, and welcome to another session of Hazeltown Story. It's been a little bit, but we've all had stuff going on, and that happens, and it's all perfectly fine, because we're here now. And we can continue pretty close to the end, but we'll see what all happens in our session today, which, speaking of session, why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Carnival.
I am, of course, Deathmaster 780.
And somewhere, somehow, I'm TorpidTypist.
And I'm your GM, LoloDePuzlo. So, who wants to do the story wrap, or the story recap?
I think I can go, because at this point, I believe we had just finished going through and delivered, I think, Charlotte back to the collection, and we're traced back her signal, right?
Yep. So, yeah. So
It's the final 3 bullet points on that.
Yeah. So basically, last time you kind of did a scouting of the sort of computer art club, Pixel Perfect, and from that you found that there are a number of moles from Orion that frequent the place, and you now have a good basically you had a good kind of idea of the layout of the club, and you did this all as the Aravia, Bobby, and who was that?
Elvis
Elvis.
was out there.
So, now that you've done that and you got some information, now you get to plan your next move.
Well, we got passes. We were going to come back later tonight as the kill team because there's secret shipments happening then.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, if that is your plan of action, how are you planning to attack it?
Again, I guess we go in and just fix it that way. You're like, I don't know, really need to plan.
I mean, we might want to skirt around the outside quick to see what we got to deal with before we get in.
Yeah.
So Haley might want to drive around the block.
Actually, I was say, what are the buildings around the club?
Let me take a look at the. Let me hold on. Trying to figure out where my tabs are. Oh, which one? Okay, there's that. Hold on, we're gonna go back here for a moment. I just want to double check. Okay, Pixel Perfect in the World District. You would have. I would imagine that it would be either it would likely be another art gallery that has zero association with Pixel Perfect, or it would be like some sort of club. But it would likely be. Or go ahead.
Which of these buildings has roof access?
I take it. Are you talking about ones that you can get to their roof?
Yes. Or just get to the roof of that building, not the club we're trying to get into.
It is likely that none of the surrounding buildings would have public access to the roof.
Absolutely none of them. Not like the ones across the street or anything.
No, the way that the buildings are like designed are that their roof access is only for employees because it's all not like commercial buildings in terms of like buying stuff, but they're like you're not going to have easy access to it.
I guess we'll be breaking in then.
Yeah, I figured that's what might as well.
Same as it ever was.
Now, actually thinking on it, what specifically do you want to do on the roof? Because
they're bringing trucks in at certain times, so the plan was like just see what they were doing from afar.
there are, because now that I think about it, you actually probably would have access to the actual roof because from a fire escape. But I don't think you'd be able to get into the building from that. That would probably be locked.
I don't care about the building.
But to literally get, if all you want is to be on the roof, those all actually should have access.
All right, well, how about this then? Haley gets on the roof of like one of the buildings that has line of sight on the like shipping drop-off point for the club. And then once the truck shows up, she radios Queen and Yuhar, and they sneak in at that time.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I take it, because we've kind of, what time are you planning on starting this?
Like, I imagine 30 minutes before their drop-off date.
It's like 9 p.m.
All right. So, it is a fairly busy time. That being said, I would imagine it wouldn't be too hard to access the fire escapes, considering that using them is, their thing. I'm just trying to think. Can I expand the size of the canvas?
Expand just the canvas.
Yeah.
Yes, let's see. Is this gonna be enough space? Sure. Let's say, where am I? I keep on forgetting what this stuff is. You know what? I'm just gonna do freehand. Okay, let me just do scribble. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me just think of how the block of this is gonna work. So let's say this square right here that I'm drawing right here, that's pixel perfect. Let's say that there is a similar sized building flanking each side.
Okay.
Let's say that here's the road. Why'd the screen go black? There we go. Here's the road.
Oh, I didn't realize there was all that going off on that side of the screen. I was busy looking at the building.
I mean, right now you're not looking. There's not much going on. And it's going to be a similar situation on the side. Obviously there are roads, or not roads, but like little entranceways that lead to a shared. Let's say that behind the buildings, there's kind of a closed off. Let's say that there's fences going through here on either side, but that lead to like a kind of shared loading area because it's not like super closed. You know how if you've ever been into like the back part of a mall food court, how the stores are kind of connected via a hallway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's like a loading area for trucks. So there's that, and then each one is just because, and I don't even have to draw this other one. Let's call this. There's pixel perfect. This also probably is not to scale, but you get the idea. This street would be street would be particularly busy, as this is nighttime for. Actually, there is kind of a bit of a club thing going down here, so this probably could be a busy time for it, or at least for very specific parts of it. So this will have foot traffic. So with that in mind, how do you plan? So I take it that let me get the queen, or not queen, Haley. I'm just gonna. I take it that you would be perched. You kind of sound like you want to perch yourself here.
Whichever roof would give her a clear line of sight to the loading bay.
So your options then, you could either, if you wanted to see the loading bay, likely then your best bet are the corner on the buildings on flanking either side of Pixel Perfect.
All right.
So like right here.
Yep.
Or here.
Yes. Well, other corner. But
Well,
yes.
you know what I mean, though. I was just highlighting the building itself.
Yep.
She'll be in that corner.
Yes. Okay.
And then I guess wherever you guys are going to be waiting.
I figure like Yuhar's across the street, like here.
Where is it? Could you ping that again?
Here.
Okay, so you're on the complete other side.
Yeah.
Of the street. Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking, as I say, it would most of in order to set up, and I take it when you're on the roof or Haley is on the roof, you're not like doing anything super suspicious, right?
No.
You're literally just watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I say, are we watching through anything in particular, or?
She has her sniper rifle with her.
Okay. So, are you using that as your scope?
Yes.
Okay, that you might need to action roll.
Well, she's not carrying it out in the open. She's got like a guitar case.
Well, it's not so much the open. It's not so much the carrying it to or getting on the roof. Even it is using a sniper rifle on a public building. Would go bad.
How well lit is the roof of this building? If it's at night, they're still not going to see her, even with a gun.
That's true. Okay. I guess then in that case, let's say you're there, and Queen and who is the Carnival? Who is your
Yuhar?
Okay, you're Yuhar. Okay.
Yeah.
You three, so Queen and Yuhar are on the other side, and Halo's up top. You all manage to get into position. It's fairly simple. Yuhar and Queen are just kind of staying in the crowd. It's kind of an art gallery district, so it's not exactly... even if you were to stand out a little bit, it wouldn't really stand out. You get there pretty early on time, and time rolls around to the part where the drop-off used to make, or said to be made. And at a little bit like 10 minutes before the time, a not big, but like a van rolls in and gets into the back of Pixel Perfect. And inside, Haley, from what you can see there, you see... Let me just double check the notes. You see 4 guys in the van get out and carry... basically bring in 2 crates. The crates are like, let's say a good-sized storage container. Like something that technically 1 person could lift, but really a 2-person. You know, roughly that size.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she will radio Queen and you aren't there. Heads up. Just had 4 guys bring in 2 crates into the back of the building.
All right, head in there now.
Gotcha.
You need support. I'm still on the east side of the building, so if you hadn't run into trouble, head there and I will give you sniper coverage.
Right?
Okay.
Let's say, how large are the windows on this building anyway?
The windows. So the it would be so on the first floor. It would be full, like in the front. Like let's say if I go from this part of I wish I could paint. You don't see me highlighting an area, do you?
No,
I
we
did.
do.
That's how you ping it.
Do you see me highlight or like?
No.
Okay. So like from here, like going or basically like.
Did you move something?
There we go. Oh, I might have moved. I think I might have moved the text on accident. Oh, I moved. Oh.
So yeah, all along the lobby and exhibits A and B, basically.
Yeah. What the hell did I do?
Did you accidentally highlight them and move them?
I think I did.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. People can't see it anyway.
Yep.
And what about the other floors, like the smaller exhibits or the office floor?
So the smaller exhibits. So on the second, in those stories, the building or the windows are smaller, but they're like rectangular. They're like, if you've seen like an office building where it's like a long strip of rectangle, that's like probably if you were standing up from like chest up, they're not meant to like go like they're not meant to open up, but they do provide light.
Okay.
Basically, just like they run from like the roof to the floor for each floor.
And also from the back or on the 4th floor, there are no real windows except for like a few in the office, but they're like very small. And in the back areas, there are no windows at all. So like by where the elevator and stairs are.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do you plan on? So what are you planning on doing?
You guys have
Bills
key
again.
cards.
We do. May
Yeah.
as well go through the front.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. When you go in, the description that you kind of got from the previous crew just basically it didn't seem to be pretty on point. It's the same kind of thing that you saw as them. There are some stuff that's on display in the lobby. It doesn't seem particularly nothing seems out of the ordinary for an art thing. No one really questions you coming in. And I take with your passes, the people up front do not really question, nor do they ask you for like a ticket or anything. Because I take it you'd be flashing the passes, right?
Yeah.
So, I just realized actually this also provides a slight logistic, I don't know if logistical plot hole would make sense, but this building now has a basement.
A basement that didn't exist the last time we did this.
Yeah. Because how would they get stuff from the back into the building?
I would assume the first floor.
Well, the first floor is blocked off from the back.
Is it? What are the two things in
actually
the left and right corners?
Well, the one on the right's a bathroom. Actually, you know what? Actually, they could have gone in through that back area. So this area right here, there could be a back door here.
There you go, loading bay.
So there we go. So yeah, you managed to get in without really any fuss. You see that there are a number of people in that are just kind of looking. So now that you're in, what do you plan on doing?
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away for a second. What are we looking at? I apologize.
You managed to walk into you're walking in the front. Your passes got you through.
Mhm.
You see the same kind of things that the previous group did. It's an art gallery, maybe not super busy, but there are a number of people that are still like looking at things, having conversations with some of the curators.
I guess we'll just head our way to the back. Take it till you make it.
Yeah.
Also, just to double check, Queen is dressed in relatively formal attire, right?
Pinstripe suit, baby.
And then Yuhar is dressed as a member of Earth, Wind, and Fire, if I remember correctly.
Do we still have that photo in one of these chats?
Somewhere up this one, the general chat.
Yeah, the general.
Yep, no. Queen is always in her custom-fitted pinstripe suit.
Perfect.
Like we had that shirt where it's like that 70s style thing that's like the open shirt.
There's all the Roombas with the knives.
Oh wait, no,
I know
in the ad hoc channel.
Okay, it's ad hoc.
Yeah.
There's Swiss
Right,
Guard.
The one
Okay.
right above the one above the one to the left.
The one with the incredible hat, right?
Yes, the one with the hat.
Okay, so my thing was right. What? Now I'm just trying to remember what was the. Okay, yes, I remember what the context for the Dancing Man in the Graveyard was. It's fun going into Discord chats and looking at previous things. Okay.
From fucking 6 months ago?
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, I imagine you're not too out of character here. You're able to roughly get in fairly easy. What were you gonna say?
I would say I'm always dressed to the nines. I always look like a professional because I am.
With your passes, because you were able to get your passes, you have pretty much free reign around the building. So, how do you plan on doing this?
Do we have? Do we see any of the other people coming in, or are they still kind of? Oh, it's still kind of open.
You still see people. Like people are moving around the building because it's still active.
Okay.
Did they
Should
see
we go
the
up to the
people
security
carrying
room first and see if we can say anything from there?
What was that? DM first.
I said, did they see the people carrying the crates anywhere around?
No. Torpo?
I said, should we head up to the security room and check the cameras after, knocking out those guys again?
You could.
How's it sound to you, Carnival?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Okay. As you make your way back, you don't necessarily see anyone with crates. You do make your way to the service elevator that can get access to the fourth floor because your previous team mentioned that the security room on the fourth floor is in the corner. As your pace or your things go up into the service elevator, you do. As the service elevator goes up, you go there. You notice that. Let's do this. I'm going to do this. Also, ignore. Wait. Can you only have a number? Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
Oh, I was looking at the rollable table. It was like the UI was confusing me for a sec. Let me just do this. I'm just gonna add a number of tokens. The number of tokens. Do not mind the number of tokens. So, as you go up in the service elevator, as I try and remember how this works, let's say that as you get, or as the service elevator, that's in the corner or the bottom left corner of this building or this room gets to the top. The first thing you see is about 3 people looking at something on a shelf that's in the area. From what you can tell from what they are wearing, they look to be wearing the same kind of outfit that the staff in the building does. Which also I will mention that the people that Haley saw carrying the crates also were dressed in the same outfit.
Are they within range for you hard to do a mind read?
They would be. I would say that the distance between this is probably because hold on, let me bring the thing up. Skills, telepathy. True. What skill would you want to use?
It would probably be mental image.
You may extract from a target action, or you may extract or something they had been thinking about. Okay. That seems like, because I would rate this if we were doing engage short, medium, long range. This is probably short range.
Okay.
Which I believe is within
'Cause
that.
I
You're
range
going.
listed, so
What was that?
I said I didn't have a range listed, so
Yeah. Yeah. Generally, unless short is probably good for a grand majority of things that are not literally either you need to touch them. I think it's probably a good metric for this. So you will need to action roll it though.
that makes sense.
But this is effectively a cantrip, so no stress costs.
Right. I'm gonna
As soon as
push myself. Controlled.
At this moment, because it's not quite controlled, because this can go. If you make a noise, they will notice you. So it's at least risky.
Right.
The effect is going to be standard though.
All right. 2 die. 5 and a 2.
5 and a 2. So mixed success. Your result is that because they're in a group, you try and get telepathy. Because they keep on moving, though, you can't get a solid. The wavelengths kind of cross each other. What you're able to gather, you're not able to get a set thing, but from what you're able to gather, is that in this group, based on what you're seeing, of these 3, there is a mixture of people who, at least one of the people in this group, was involved with bringing the crate in, and at least one of them was not. But you cannot tell which one and how many.
Okay.
You gonna convey that info to me?
Yeah, I thought I did. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like we've got our guys, sort of. Wanna fuck them up?
Yeah, might as well.
Sweet.
I suggest you take the first go, considering you're much quieter than my methods.
So where's our angle of approach? Where are we coming in from?
So you are coming in from this room in the bottom left. They are standing in front of a one of those big shelving units that you see in a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
That's rather tall. They are all looking at something put up, or actually, they have something on the floor that they're kind of looking at.
Can I knock the shelving unit over on them?
Because I'm thinking that the shelving unit is probably the ones that there's one that's against the wall, and one that's behind them. But the thing is, the angle it would really depend upon how you would do it, because you're still within this. Also, the people in here would hear the service elevator, but they're not looking at you. So they know that someone is about to come in.
Hey, Yuhar.
Want me to just push some things?
I was gonna say that or distract him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do a distraction. So what? That'd be a setup action for your larger.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or alternatively, because are you thinking the use of telepathy in this?
Maybe.
That would be setting up an action. That is one thing for sure. Because I was just wondering if you knew what exactly what you wanted to do.
I can just I'll just send telepathic message and images of just I don't know, just random images of films that Yuhar has seen in the last few weeks into people's minds.
Okay, so that would be, I guess it would be implant memory.
I thought I was just sending telepathic messages because I'm not like trying to.
Wait. Send telepathic. Oh,
because the role would be using sabotage to make it like just not. They would notice it would be as annoying instead of just like random thoughts.
Yes, you could. I'm thinking about that. I wonder if that should be an automatic success. But whatever. That's for after action reports. I will say this. You can go ahead and do that. But the thing about that is, they will very clearly know that something is wrong.
Okay, that's fine. This is fun because I'll be action rolling sabotage.
Okay.
Yeah, because my plan is to distract them using Yuhar and then slink around behind the shelf and knock it over on top of them.
Yeah, this will be a setup action, and then so what position is I'm guessing risky.
Let me just double check the rules real quick for how this works. You may perform an action that someone else's desired action to give your ally. Let me just double check. There it is. I'm like, why is there not a link to the thing in Bobby's page? I just want to remember how the mechanics for this work. Setup. When you perform an action as a setup action, you have indirect effect on an obstacle. Adds one effect level or improved decision to their rule. Okay. So, Yuhar can in fact roll sabotage on this. This will definitely be risky. Since you're not exposed quite yet, I can't really say it's desperate.
Okay.
Your effect is going to be standard. So risky standard. That is a 1. That is a triple 1. That if this were the system had it, that would be a critical failure.
Okay, wow. What's the consequence so that I can decide whether or not to resist?
In your attempt to do that, in order to kind of get like a line of sight of them, one of them happens to which basically, as you're trying to do that, one of them just basically looks at you dead, like looks up and looks at you dead in the eye as you do this. So they are very aware that you are the one that is doing this. And they see you and they see Queen. And they know that you are very openly hostile. And then
okay, so I'm gonna resist.
2 of them. Yeah, I was gonna say. Basically, the thing is that shit's getting like they are basically arming themselves and rushing your position. Is the failure point? So you are resisting 2 and 3. So yes, you lose 3 stress or to recover. So you, instead of that, as they continue to look at the thing that they just brought in, you manage to distract one of them, or you manage to like get the mental image and then someone's head, and then someone's like, it starts to react of just seeing weird, like seeing a move, like seeing,
what year is this?
Roughly 97. Starts seeing like footage of Westworld in his head, and like starts acting like he's hallucinating, which causes the other two to kind of look at him to see if something's up, thus distracting the trio.
Okay, well, since they're distracted, I'm going to use that to slink around and get behind them to push over the shelf on them.
Okay. How are you planning on sneaking around them? Like
Maneuver.
Maneuver. Okay. That would be that. Your effect, because at the moment those three are distracted. However, they are distracted, so the base effect is going, or the base position is risky.
Okay.
The effect is going to be great, though.
Okay, let me check over my numbers, and I get +1 from.
Oh, right,
Utah, right?
Because your setup succeeded. You do get a plus. I'll give you plus on, because just on a base level, with what's going on, that would be an effect of great. Just because one of them is distracted, I will give you that. As the setup succeeded, your position improves to controlled.
Okay. I was gonna say, there's literally no way this move couldn't be great in terms of effect anyway.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 different things that would have factored into this to make it great. So it doesn't. It's always great. It's great. So controlled. Great. Let's see. That'll be 4 die.
Also, before I forget, you are Mark XP.
Yeah, I did.
On. Okay.
Okay, so that's 4 dice.
Okay. 6, 4, 5, 5. So that is a success. You managed to not only go over to a spot by the shelf, that they are not looking. You manage also to tip it over. This thus sending a number of things on top of them that are rather heavy. You can only imagine, and because the shelf did not hit another thing going down, landing entirely flat on top of them, the 3 of those people are most certainly knocked out at the moment.
Okay,
if
cool.
one of them is not dead.
Otherwise, I was going to jump on it for extra effect after that, but cool.
That being said, as a very heavy thing just fell over, a very loud noise was made. Previous episodes of Hazeltown Story can be found at BeKindRewind.hazel.town or radio.hazel.town. If you would like to know more about the universe and have an interest in video games, you can watch LoloDePuzlo's Journal, our sister show, that can be found at theater.hazel.town or BeKindRewind.hazel.town. If you would like to keep up to date with Lolo, you can follow them at co-host or BlueSky at LoloDePuzlo. There is also a Discord server in which you can potentially catch episodes being recorded live at club.hazel.town. Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. I welcome you to come back for more.